This episode is sponsored by Agent CRM. If you're in sales and tired of paying 3, 4, or 5 different companies for your email, CRM, funnels, phone, follow-up automation, check out Agent CRM. It's an all-in-one tool that combines all that you need to reach out, nurture, and close your clients. They've got weekly support calls so you can get up and running in no time. Get a free 14-day trial by going to the link below in the show notes. Hey everyone, this is Dan with the Intentional Entrepreneur Podcast. I have Mike Merrigan and Bo Kort, who are best friends, business partners, and real estate moguls. Over the past 30 years, they have acquired hundreds of properties and built over 43 companies. Now they want to teach others how 2 small town guys from Arizona did it and how you can too. Are you fed up with the typical financial freedom gurus? Mike and Bo are the breath of fresh air that you've been so desperately needed. Welcome to the show, Mike and Bo.
What's happening, man?
How you doing?
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yep. I'm Mike, and that's Bo.
Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with us, for your time. I know you guys are very busy, but I think you guys have a lot of awesome, valuable information, and we're happy to share your message to the world. And today we want to talk about your 3Ds, the keys to finding undervalued business opportunities. But before we kind of get into that, can you share a little bit about your background and how you got to where you're today?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, Mike and I were graduated from the same high school, like 4 miles down the road. Mike is a few years older than me, but we both had the same path, man. We were entrepreneurs from the time we were kids, hustling. He's got stories of selling coasters, and I was doing front yard landscapes when I was like 10 years old, man. It was just always in my blood to make money, and Mike's the same way. Mike was actually a funny story. He was in the Rotary Club with my dad. Dude's only like 18 years old, and he's in there with all these old cats that are 40s, 50s, and 60s, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing with all these old cats, man? That's weird. But I was in high school at the time, and I was mesmerized by it because I was looking to get started in something, and Mike had a chain of video stores when he was like 18, 19 years old, and it was wild to see a guy that young in business doing it. And so we kind of both had the same path because of him and my dad being friends, being in Rotary together. I got to know Mike a little bit. He's got a younger brother that was more my age, so I knew of Mike. And then we've been best friends for 25 years and bouncing ideas off one another for probably the first 10 or 15. And then we've been business partners ever since. And the power of that partnership, man, just blew shit up. We got involved we had businesses. We both had multiple businesses at the time that we started doing partnerships together. But then we took the profits from those businesses and started buying real estate, and it just gets easier and easier. You just got to get off your ass and get out there and do it. And then, you fine tune your craft, and we feel like we're getting better at it every day and still looking to grow.
And mine started out, and my last job was when I was 18 years old. But I've been self-employed, and I knew that when I was young, I knew I had to work for someone. I knew I couldn't work for someone. So I knew right away that I was going to be self-employed, and I was just looking for an opportunity after I graduated from high school. Got with a cousin that at a funeral, a distant cousin from Fargo that had a chain of video stores, and we got drinking one night and said he'd expand and want to do all this. Well, I just took that knowledge, went back, found 3 different locations, called him up, did my research, and said, hey, I've got these things ready to look at. And he was a man of his word, and he flew down. And 6 months later, we opened up our first location. A year later, I was able to buy him now, and we had a couple other partners, so I bought them out and just got started in the video store business. But back then, it was if you got a location open, you were making money. So got another location going, another location, took that into laundromats, opened up a chain of laundromats, car washes, and just always liked, I liked the retail part of it, the brick and mortar part of greeting the customers and seeing the hands-on part of it. Always knew one of anything wasn't going to be enough. So I had to open businesses that had enough profit where I could have a manager, pay the expenses, pay myself, and have enough profits to either scale the business or take those profits and invest in real estate. And that's what we've done, and that's what we continue to do.
So both of you have been, entrepreneurs for a very long time, going back to seemingly the childhood.
Yes.
Yeah. A little bit about, how was it growing up? Did you come from middle class, lower income? upper class? Was being an entrepreneur a necessity for you, or was it just something that was inside of you that you wanted to do?
Our parents were entrepreneurs, but probably on a small scale, so lower middle class. But they, both of our parents, his mom and dad, and my mom and dad were grinders, man. They worked their ass off, but they didn't have the ideas of scaling and backing their way out of the company or growing it huge. Which I think Mike and I, we put in our years of just grinding behind the counters of our companies. And then started to get the ideas of once we fine tune our craft and we realized that we were going to hire people and put them in place. Was probably better at that at the beginning because he never had a key to one of his businesses. He got a manager that was in there. They got the key and don't call me. Just handle business. I'm going to give you all the tools to be a badass. And now it's up to you. And I'm going to pay you like a badass. So run that company as though it's your own because I'm going to go open another one and another one and another one, and I need quality people around me. So Mike had that from the get. I got it after a while. I got too integrated into some of my companies, and once I did start backing my way out, I did realize that it's a lot easier to scale once you empower the people around you.
Yeah. So we had parents that just owned their own business, one location of whatever it was, and kind of the old school way of doing business. But I knew my parents have strong personalities. I knew I was going to be a business. I had an opportunity to buy their business. It wasn't going to work, and so I didn't do that. Bo, he did buy out his parents after he went to college, came back, was looking for a business opportunity, bought out his family business. He still owns it today, but then got into pools. And now we have a construction company, pool company, Houston Motorsports. We've got 5 locations there. We have probably 40 plus storage complexes, multifamily, flex space,
a
fabrication shop,
construction company. We got multiple companies that I'm managing now.
And I run a chain of, we have furniture stores. His primary thing is pools. But business is all the same, man. You just got to treat people amazing. Treat your employees amazing. Be a good person. Do what you say you're going to do. Be disciplined and persistent. Give a fair value. Overperform. And most people just don't do those simple things.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that, because one of the questions I have is because you're such in a wide variety of businesses, and how do you kind of like duplicate yourself? What are the skills across all the businesses that you need?
One thing is just be an honest, good person. That starts out with that. And then when you're that type of person and hardworking, energetic, you attract other people. So we're not experts in everything business we own. We have a fabrication place, and we go there and we see sparks flying everywhere. We don't know what the heck they're doing. But we do know business, and we do know how to recognize great talent. So we are big into partnerships. So if you've got the ability to make doorknobs and you see a print in front of us of how we're going to blow it away in doorknobs, we're into it, man. So we love partnering with great people that are expert in their field. What we can bring to the table is a lot of times people just don't have the confidence to do it on their own. They see that we've done it so many times. So maybe they're the Lion and the Wizard of Oz. So we can help them that way. Maybe it's a financial backing. We can help it that way. All businesses have the same type of back end. And so we're experts on that, but we're probably not expert in the field that they want to get into. So if we can see the partnerships can work, we're real careful about who we get in bed with, but we're really good partners.
Everybody's got to bring value, whether the partner that we bring on, and then if there's a situation where someone's pitching a deal to us and we realize that we can't bring any value to it, we're not interested in doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So today we're talking about how to find undervalued businesses, and you guys have this thing called the 3Ds. And so can you share with us the first D that you guys use to find undervalued businesses?
One thing is death, divorce. Right. Honestly, those are the D's, man, and distressed properties. So like Houston Motorsports, the nicest 2 guys you ever met owned Houston Motorsports, and they had a chain of 4 or 5 of them at one time.
Yeah, I think so.
When we bought it, they had their mother store, but they'd already done their time. The guy once told me that we bought it from, he goes, when I got into the business, we were young, hotshot guys, and no one liked us in the industry because we were doing things different. He goes, and then all these years later, we're on the other side, and now we're still in that industry, and now nobody likes us because we do things different. So they're still using fax machines and whatever else. So it's time to leave. And so they ran their race. They loved their business. We partnered up with a guy that was already an expert in that field and in that neighborhood. we partner up, and he runs the day-to-day operations. He's an amazing partner, does an amazing job, and we've taken it from 1 location to 5 locations in how long?
Less than 3 years.
Less than 3 years. But it's, if you find the old guy that's done, he's tired, he's ran his race, and then he's just looking for someone that's going to take his legacy and show respect and build from that. And the country is full of, men, women, call it whatever you want, but old guys that want to hand the keys to someone, and you just got to be that person, be looking for that opportunity. But the whole country, there's a bunch of people that want to give the keys to someone else, and it's usually not their kids. A lot of times it can be, but it's not a lot of times. And then the other thing is, the old guy doesn't get to sell it to us or someone else, so they pass, and now the kids have it, and they hate it, and they just want to give the keys to us also. So it keeps happening that way.
Yeah. Now, I have clients in the real estate industry, and for them, finding distressed properties is going pounding the pavement, right? Right. So is that true for non-real estate, businesses?
Yeah, no, 100%. Like right now, we've got 2 different properties that we're going to be putting into escrow. One of them's in escrow. The other one's getting ready to be put into escrow. The first one, it was dilapidated. It had weeds. The guy was a hoarder. He's got all of his shit stacked in there, and no one would be interested in buying it but us, because we recognize the value add that we can bring with our expertise to build it out and make it a storage facility. So we just knocked on the guy's door and made it happen, and we're buying the property, and the guy's cleaning it out right now. It's in escrow. The other story is we went through a realtor to go look at a property that they're asking like $1.3 million for it. We think it's probably worth $500,000 or $600,000. Anybody would think that we're crazy even going to take a look at it. We go take a look at it, realize that it's a death, and the people that own or that are operating the trust are trying to get top dollar for it. They're from California. They're not in our area. They don't know what it's worth. They valued it based off of California pricing, and they put it up for 1.3. They're tired. They're sick and tired of driving back and forth. So we're probably going to put an offer in on it for $500,000 or $600,000. Might get it, might not. But the day that we're there talking to the realtor that's representing the trust, tells us about another property we already know of in our area, just came back on the market. We looked at it 5 years ago. We're going out, and we're probably going to close the deal. I just, before jumping on the podcast, made arrangements to meet with the owner tomorrow morning. We're going to go talk to the wife.
We met with the husband.
Yes, like 2 days ago. But that's how it works. You just, identifying the opportunities, setting up the meetings, talking to everybody, letting them know what your intentions are and that you're constantly chasing, whether it's a fourplex or a duplex or a light industrial or a flex space or storage. Contact me.
But it's funny, the building that we're talking about, that we're going to talk to the wife now, we looked at it in 2019, and they were old then, and they wanted to retire, and they had these big plans to take these European trips and stuff. But guess what happened? They didn't retire. They just worked it until they actually closed the business. Now it's a big steel building with some storage on the property that they used to do repairs on and stuff. And now we're buying it from them. They're probably never going to take a trip now, but it's $200,000 less than it was in 2019. Well, what was a pickup truck in 2019? They're a lot more today. This has already gone $200,000 less.
And they're 5 years older.
They're 5 years older. They would have been much better off selling it to us then. But that's what this country is full of, a bunch of people that are tired. So we're doing them a favor. They're doing us a favor. They've lowered the price. I know we're going to be able to come up with a deal. They're even interested in doing owner financing now because they don't want to give it all to the government. So it's a win-win-win-win. And it's all about being patient, looking for opportunities, always striking, and getting a bunch of no's. And a no to us just means maybe later.
Yep.
That's all they're saying. Maybe later. We've never heard the word no. And we get no all day long.
Yeah. So you talk about this last particular deal, the first contact you made was 5 years ago.
Yes.
So
yes.
what do you kind of maintain a particular database? Like, hey, we haven't contacted them in a couple of years. Let's check back in. Or are they coming back to you?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
A lot of our deals take years.
Yeah, it takes years. The other thing that I do is I put the ball in their court. I follow up, myself. And then we've got partners, so we're constantly going back through. We got a list. Our property here, our business, our LLC in this corporation is called Whiteboard Properties. Well, we got whiteboards all over the place, and there's properties that we've been looking at over the last 4 to 5 years. So we're constantly going back through even our whiteboards just to look and see, hey, what's the deal with that one? When's the last time you talked to them? Look up on the whiteboard. Okay, it's been 6 months. Let's call them back up again. But we're persistent about doing that. But the point that I was going to get to before is whenever I do talk to somebody, even whenever I get a no, I acknowledge the fact that at some point in time, something could change in your life where you do want to sell. Or you got a family member that you're going to, will it to, and they're going to possibly want to sell. So just do me a favor, and I'd make sure that I establish a relationship with them, that at that point in time, before you just go call the local realtor and do a listing, just call me. I'll take a look at it. Maybe the price that you want to sell it for and the price that I want to pay for it doesn't match up. No big deal. You lose nothing, but maybe you're going to save on paying that commission to that realtor because you already got a buyer right here and me. So just do me a favor and give me a call before you guys do ever go to list it. And most people are kind and they go, yeah, all right, yeah, no problem, bro. I appreciate you saying something. And I follow back up in 6 months, and then we've had deals where you call back in 6 months and go, hey, Harry, what's happening? It's Bo, man. How you guys doing? Oh, we're doing good, Bo. You guys ready to sell? He goes, I don't know. Marge, we ready to sell? He goes from the background, yeah, tell Bo to come see us.
That literally happened. That exact call happened on a storage complex.
And then go close the deal.
And they lived right there on the property or whatever it was. I'd go there and, she had a knitting room in the back, but it was a nice storage complex, but they just had their routine in that office. And when we first started hitting them up, no, we're not selling. And he threw out some crazy prices, during the 2 years. But finally he called them up one day and they go, Martha, you want to sell? And she said yes. Yeah. And so now we own that. So
what are some of the lengths you guys gone to get in contact, especially some distressed properties, some boarded up? Obviously, real estate is a little bit easier. You can find it, sometimes you could find the actual owner, but what are some of the things you guys have to do to go investigate and finally make contact with the person's decision?
With Google Earth, we're looking, we're the county websites, every app that's out there. We go to all links. We'll drive anywhere. We'll fly anywhere. We'll just go, through the county website, find the address and just go knock on the door, leave cards, whatever, at their home address, because a lot of times it's hard to find these people.
We had a property that we contacted an old realtor. That guy was probably in Rotary with you, Lynn Robinson.
Yeah.
So Lynn goes, I know the guy that owns that property. And we're like, dude, we cannot get him to reply. We couldn't close the deal. Lynn's like, I'll go see him. He comes back. He goes, boy, things have gotten weirder than I've ever seen. I go, what happened? He goes, when I showed up at his house, he had a paper bag over his head with the eyes cut out. He didn't want me to see him because he'd gotten so old and he was a hoarder in his house. Yeah. And we got the freaking deal done. Yeah. Just by through, hey, if it doesn't work in our partnership, sometimes we'll go, hey, Mike, you should probably take the lead on this one. I'm not really resonating with these people. And so why don't you take a hit at it and see if you can try and get them to sell their property to us. But it's recognizing who's the best tool for the job and then using that tool.
Yeah. And a lot of times it's just networking and letting people know what you're looking for. And then once you close on a couple pieces of property, they know you're the real deal. So, and then they just, honestly, it's kind of like a snowball effect also, because then people are just contacting us. So when you talk about building relationships and what we'll do to find those ones, we also do the same thing with realtors. We make sure we're upfront, honest. We don't just work with one realtor. So we're upfront. Hey, guess what? If you're going to work with us, we work with a lot of realtors. So don't get your feelings hurt because we did a deal with you yesterday. Tomorrow we're doing a deal with someone else in the same town or whatever. There's just different reasons. If we're buying multifamily, we go to the best multifamily person. We're buying light industrial. There's someone that's got all the light industrial. We go to that person. So we just try to be as honest as possible with either the homeowner or the business owner or the realtor also. So just being a good person helps a lot, and being friendly and being able to communicate.
Do what you say you're going to do. If you can really close on a deal, then you get a good name out there, because then people think, everyone says they want to buy that property. They want to close on that deal, but can you really do it?
You tell somebody to call them back in 6 months, call them back in 6 months. And guess what? 6 months later, call them again. Pretty soon it's been 2 years, and now you've built a relationship. Now they know who you are, and now they're talking to you, and then the conversations keep going, and now they're because people get emotionally attached to their business, they get
Mm-hmm.
emotionally attached to their property, and it's not always just the money, it's the people. They want to hand this off to someone that they trust. So now
Mm-hmm.
you've built that relationship, and there's trust involved, and it's a fair price. So
Yeah.
everybody's winning when everyone's doing the right thing. It's when greed and those type of people that get involved that aren't doing the right thing, that are
Yeah.
just in it for the dollar and don't have love for the business or the real estate. I mean, I tell my managers, I go, these businesses are like my kids. When one moves away, I don't love them any less. They just went off to college. I just don't see them every day. So when I'm not at this business, don't think I'm not thinking and worried about you. I just
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen you in a month or 3 weeks or whatever it's been. But you mean just as much to me as every business is just is attached to my heart.
Yeah. So what are some of the financing strategies you guys teach your students? Because not everyone has, the cash on hand. You talk about owner financing. Can you share about some of the strategies you guys employ and teach your students?
We've got so many creative financing ways of things done to doing hard money. One thing about like our real estate portfolio is we own 100% of it. Our partnership between
Mm.
me and Mike, and then like his brother, we own 100% of it. Or if we've got a partner in the business, we're all chop it up evenly. Um, so what we will do is like with our situation and the partnerships that we have is if we have a business that we want to loan the money to make an acquisition happen, then that's an opportunity for that business to make money, interest on their money, and actually act as the hard money lender. So we will do that sort of thing. Not everybody has that to be able to do it. So in other instances, when we first got started, we had some hard money lenders that we would reach out to, and we got their money back to them as quick as possible once we value added the property that we bought, and then took it back to a local community bank, refinanced it, and then gave them their money back. The other thing to do is actually even bringing somebody in as a partner to be able to do it, and their money acts as equity. They're gonna get an equity stand in the property, and we're long term hold guys. So you got to find somebody that's interested in the same goals that you have in your real estate portfolio.
The other thing is that there's never been a deal that we couldn't do because of money. So the thing is, if you can't do the deal, it means it's not good enough. Because if you can buy the Empire State Building for $1, of course you're gonna be able to raise $1, right? So the thing is, you need to make sure that you find good deals. And once you find a good deal, you're a good person, you got an amazing deal. I will guarantee you in your phone is an uncle that's got money, a cousin you haven't talked to that's got money, a friend that's got money, somebody that wants to make money on their money. And then you've got to have an open mind. You got to look at life differently than what you've been looking at it. But what we teach and what we try to preach, I don't care if you're a W 2 employee or self employed, you have to be here and you have to be living below your means. So the first thing we teach is whatever you're doing, lawnmower business, make more money. Keep your expenses the same. When the profits start dropping out, take those profits and look for real estate investment. And then real estate investment, we never buy real estate at retail. We walk away from every deal at retail. The day we close, when we're in the escrow office signing a DocuSign, we have to know we're making money that day, that we can sell it for more, or we don't close. So the very first day we're making money, then we value add or do raise rates, whatever we have to do, but we make sure they cash flow. So out of the 150 pieces of property, we do not have one piece of property that does not cash flow. They either cash flow or we don't close. Now they might not cash flow the day we take over, but it's an old guy that got friendly with the eightplex and never raised the rate since 1999. We come in, take them from $450 up to $600 or whatever the market, maybe it's 11 or whatever it is, but we make sure we can cash flow, and then it's easy to do it again. Once a piece of property is paying for itself, the tenants are paying down the debt, you're getting depreciation, it's going up 3% a year, 4% a year, whatever it is. Why not take those profits and go buy another piece of real estate? Because you're living below your means, take more money, add it to that pile, and pretty soon you got one property, two turn, three, four, it just adds up. And then people want to connect to you because you're doing amazing things. And then it just
Yeah.
gets easier. So
So
keep it.
my next question is kind of about mindset, and especially for your students who are doing their first deal and they're asking for their uncle for financing, right? And obviously they don't want to be the nephew that loses money for their uncle. So how do you kind of teach that student to have the confidence to obviously you can't guarantee it, right? But to have the confidence
Mhm.
is, hey, yeah, we're going to come out ahead when all is said and done.
One thing we believe in is, one, you've got to keep it local, especially when you're starting out. Don't go bring your uncle something. You live in Tallahassee and you bring something in Boise, Idaho. Keep it local where everyone knows the neighborhoods and stuff. So from 5 to 10 miles circle, you know that area, right? Figure out what the rents are, take your time on it, but also ask for help. Ask for help. And now with the internet, you can help us. I mean, we'll give you help. Reach out to Mike and Bo. We'll analyze the deal for you. So there's so much help for you out there that there's no reason you have to do it alone anymore. We did it alone and made a lot of mistakes. And now you don't have to make the same mistakes we made. We're going to help you. Or even if it's not us, you've got someone that will help you. You got to be able to ask for help.
Yeah, we can coach you up on all the feasibility stuff too, because we've been there where all of a sudden, all right, well, we check the rates and we check this and we check that. But then all of a sudden you realize that the market's going to get saturated because someone's opened a big complex just down the road that you didn't put that into the parameters of it. We've made all of those mistakes. So now we can guide people from avoiding those things. And it is a huge it's a huge thing to have that resource to be able to reach out to. The other thing is, like, even whenever I was younger, I was just asking all the old cats in the neighborhood. Mike got involved in Rotary. You have to network within the circles that you have.
Thank you.
And if you're not hanging out with those people that are doing those things, you probably really don't want to be doing them.
Yeah. You need to get with like-minded people.
Yes.
Your buddy at the bar getting drunk and having I want to start doing that too. You're never going to go anywhere. So it is a mindset, man. You've got to be a good person. You got to take care of your health. It's fitness. It's everything, man. The successful people that you're following, watch the Shark Tank. You see anybody you don't think taking care of themselves on that show? Show's been on for how many years and how many guests? Everybody looks like they're in top-notch shape, crystal clear. No one's hungover. It's not a coincidence. If you don't look like that in some way because you're taking care and you're a hard worker, then you probably should just keep dreaming. But if you're already a hard worker, get your life together, and then there's opportunities out there once you've got everything, you're thinking clearly. You got a mindset, and to surround yourself by good people, and it just starts growing. But you got to be in the right mindset. And that's where I think a lot of people they're not in the mindset. They're probably right where they should be anyways. But the other ones that are struggling, just like what we say is you take action and figure it the F out. But you got to take action. So you got to drop the fear. You got to get past that. You're going to make mistakes. You won't read enough books to get all the knowledge to now I'm ready. It's never going to happen. So I'm not nothing against those books, but they're not going to get the job done. Ever. Right. And everyone, I know one guy who's read every single book, blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, dude, I don't want to hear about another book. I don't have time to read the books you read. I don't even know how the F you read that many books. But I was a parent. I didn't read one book. Got 3 Asian kids.
Yeah.
We can get into business. You don't have to spend all the time just trying to figure it out. At one point, you got to jump in the water, man.
Right. And I remember doing my first real estate deal. It was, your first one's always the most nerve wracking, right? And it's like, hey, am I doing this right? If I doing doing the right thing, and what if this blows up in my face, right? It's never like the first thought is, yeah, you do it, but the lingering questions for the rest of the time is going to blow up in my face. I wanted to ask, a lot of financial gurus, how they sell themselves as parking from the Lamborghini, from the apartment mansion. They never really talk about the things that blow up in their face. So I do want to ask you, what are some of the deals that you didn't do that, you've learned a lot from, I would say.
Yeah.
Dude, Section 8 house. Or that Section 8 that you guys did, you and Nina.
Yeah. We bought a 10-plex in south of Houston on Galveston Island, and we bought it, rehabbed it and everything. But our goal at that point was we were going to do Section 8. Well, we bought this piece of property. It was vacant, and so we had to remodel all the rooms and stuff. Got it up and running, new appliances, everything. But we were never able to fill it. And come to find out, it was a square type building that had a small courtyard. Well, anyways, when we bought it, it was empty. We didn't do any research, but that was a drug den. That was a crack house. Everybody knew that to be the place that's where drugs and bad things had happened. And
everybody but you.
Everybody but me. Even when we got done with it, it still had a stigma about it. And then we went to the section. That was our plan, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, we never got more than 3 different tenants in this place, and it was remodeled nice. We ended up selling it to a father and son. They were specialists in the Section 8. They filled it up right away. They knew what they were doing. There's a specialty type thing. Section 8's one of them. So the people that are good at that are really good at that, and they were really good at that. And so we weren't. We stepped away. We did lose money on it, and we learned, hey, guess what? Stay in your lane. But when I first started out, one of the best lessons for me is I opened up a video store with a partner, a relative that lived in Fargo. So he comes down, helps me open. Back then, if you just got the doors open, you were making money. So the first year, money was flying in. We were way above projections. It was amazing. But he thought I knew more than I did, so he went back to Fargo running his chain and expanding. But I never had any staff. I never had any bookkeeper. I didn't even know what those things were. So I opened the mill that required me to turn the power, keep the power going. But I was just working the counter, running a skeleton crew, open to close, nonstop, until I had to start signing for my mail, which meant that was IRS, 941s, state sales tax, all the things that I knew nothing about. It took me 3 years. So then I hired a bookkeeper, but it took me 3 years of profits to pay the penalties and interest and get caught back up. So I was 4 years into a successful business and I was at zero. So the lesson there is you need to make sure you're taking care of the back office. Whatever business you open, whether you're going to be doing it yourself, which I don't recommend, is you need to have enough money to hire staff. It can be just one person. It can be in an office somewhere, whatever it is. But staff is just as important as every single thing else you're going to be working on, because everything has to be done right. And if it's not, it's going to screw you up. So I learned my lesson really young there. And now we have a great staff.
Yeah.
In that particular situation, I see that, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
Right? So how, right? And obviously with hindsight, it's 2020, but how do you even get to that point, right? It's like, you don't know what you don't know. So how am I supposed to, who's going to tell me?
Yep.
Us.
Yeah.
But get help, right?
Dude, that's the biggest thing for us. Honestly, like go back 5 years ago, we're watching social media and you're seeing all these get rich quick schemes and all this other shit. And Mike and I are looking at each other and dude, I'm following up on some of them. I'm like, okay, how are they doing that? Our accountant doesn't know what the hell they're doing because these guys aren't paying taxes, this and that. And then all of a sudden you take it down another road and then all of a sudden you realize, it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It's not real. Right? Yeah. My accountant is my best buddy from high school. And I go in to see him all the time with another TikTok and go, dude, look at this TikTok. This guy's not paying taxes on this and that. He goes, oh, that's such bullshit. He goes, quit following that shit. It ain't real, dude.
Yeah.
And so you're always looking for the quick fix, the flip of the switch to make things happen. And Mike and I realized, dude, we got 30 years of grind that we've really got something special that we can help people. They come into our office all the time and we enjoy doing it. Yeah. So why not put it out there, man? Let's get people in and start helping them out, coaching them up. I love helping young entrepreneurs that are hustlers and grinders. And we got one young guy that's up in Michigan right now. We've been coaching him for like 9 months. The kid is killing it. You talk to him. We're on a Zoom call with him once a week, and probably get 3-4 months into it, realize he's only 21 years old and he's running this construction company. 21 years old, and he just needed somebody to talk to. His family aren't entrepreneurs. He lives in a small community. It reminds me of us when we were kids, man, just getting started in business. So this dude loves us. We love the shit out of him because he's just like an old soul. And he's scaling like crazy in his company just because he's got someone to talk to and bounce ideas off of.
Yeah. And I want to just kind of really emphasize how valuable something like that is. Just to pick up the phone or a weekly call is just like, hey, I'm running into this. No one in my circle can tell me about this because they all work for somebody else or they're just doing the same thing.
Yes. Nothing bad about them. They just don't have the life experiences.
Right. And when you do meet someone that has the like-minded, they'll talk forever. All of this information is free. It's free. Also, I'm a member of, I'm on the board of directors of a community bank, a local community bank. So I'm on the loan committee. So that was another thing that opened up to us. We were always afraid to go to the bank, you're in front of the Wizard of Oz. What's behind me? Well, once you see it's just a table with a bunch of people sitting there. There's nothing behind there. There's no secrets. Yeah. They only say yes to things that make sense. So now we know. And I know that everything, like when a bank says these are how many points you got to pay, guess what? You can negotiate that. Hey, this is the interest rate. I didn't know you can negotiate that. Every single thing about business is negotiable. There's ways to save money, which is making money, but you gotta learn as you go, and then you got to put yourself out there. And now with the internet, there's just so many. Everyone's got a cheat sheet, is how I look at it, because you got the internet. And you got people you can reach out to and get good advice.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So, you probably heard this. Warren Buffett philosophy is obviously what we're talking about here, finding undervalued assets and, purchasing them and putting in resources into them. And so far we've talked about death, disability, and pounding the pavement.
Divorce is the other one.
Divorce, right. And obviously pound the pavement. What is, I mean, besides those three and the one step after that, what is the first thing you look at as far as maybe financials go? Because it could be like there was that one deal you had, like the numbers, they wanted top dollar, right?
Yeah.
So you stepped away from that. But what goes into your financial analysis to then take the next step?
One thing is trust but verify. So everything has to be verified. You have to make sure that you're dealing with an honest person selling their company or their business, and you got to assume that the books are probably a little bit cooked no matter what, because they're selling, right? So they are. They're probably cooked a little bit. So proceed with caution. When someone's in a hurry for you to do something, don't do it. Do the exact opposite. When someone's in a hurry, stop, wind your watch, do whatever, automatically shift, downshift, do the exact opposite. If they run off, guess what? I used to chase deals like the Hope Diamond thinking that was the last one. But you know what? As I've gotten older, there's another deal coming tomorrow. If the deal we just told you about falls through, guess what's coming tomorrow? Something I haven't even seen yet. So one thing is just slow it down. There's nothing that's the last deal. So you don't have to have it. And I used to not think that way. I used to think I had to get every deal, make it happen, try to see the numbers, to make them work. But now we're really honest with ourselves to the point where we make sure that this really is producing that it really is a demand for this product or service. You learn to slow down, take your time, make sure you do your research, and you can't go in blindfolded or dumb about it. You gotta do your work. You gotta, when I was doing laundromats, I went to every single laundromat in Las Vegas with a phone book because I wanted to know how other people were doing it and the things that they didn't like. When I say went to every one of them, I didn't go to half of them. I drove my 82 Honda Civic to every single one. My girlfriend, I'll go with you. We spent 2 days there. Halfway through, I go, we're going to North Las Vegas now. Because I did my research, and by the time I opened, I had a beautiful laundromat turned into a chain of laundromats, and I knew the business. So there's no secret thing. Of course, numbers are important, but numbers, most people aren't really good at them. Again, get help. Have someone else look at them with you.
That's what I was going to say. You got to have put another set of eyes on it. That's been one nice thing about having our partnership is one of us will take the lead on something. And then hold each other accountable to make sure that we're doing all of our due diligence, doing all the complete underwriting of it. And then what are we not thinking about? That question comes up all the time. What are we not thinking about on this property? There's something that's going to come up after we close on it. What's the one thing? Is it in a flood zone? Is it this? I mean, oh yeah, that's valid. Oh shit. We should check on that. And when you're in a partnership, that's one thing that we're fortunate to have. We're constantly coaching one another on things. Yeah. Hey, this is how I look at this deal, and this is how I'm going to handle it. What do you think? Yeah, I get what you're saying, but maybe look at it this way. Okay, good. Thanks, man. I didn't,
but don't just look at a business and look at the numbers at the bottom line, because I guarantee you it's going to look rosy at the bottom of the page, the last page, go to the last page. It's always going to look good, but it's not reality. That number is not going to be there. You're forgetting about the financing, the cost of money for you to make it there, which makes that go to zero or less than zero, or flat out lying about the books. Those things happen every day. So you need to be careful. Do not buy a business just based on the books. The other hand, don't buy a business based on someone's word either. So you have to have books to back it up. So it's a piece of pie, right? All the pieces got to be right. And there's no one single thing to look for. You just got to see an opportunity. You got to believe in it, but it's got to be from your gut too. There's a lot of that.
You got to dig in, man. You got to dig in. We say that all the time.
We help people with that, and we've done it multiple times. And most deals fall through. Yeah. Most deals we don't buy. So I mean most by a lot.
Yes, no, exactly. Think about this: is if you're getting ready to buy someone's business, who's their biggest customer? All right, well, I want to talk to your biggest customer.
Yeah.
Believe me, if you're coming to buy my business and you're asking me for my biggest and baddest customer and what their thoughts are on me, you got it. Anybody that I've done business with, you want their number, you want their, I'll drive you to their house, whatever, because I got nothing to hide. Hey, who's your biggest vendor? Who do you buy the most stuff from? All right, I want their number too. Because guess what? I'm going to
pay your bills.
I'm going to find out more about you from them than what I'm ever going to find out from you. Everyone's got a rosy-colored glasses, talking about themselves or how great their business is. But I'll tell you what. Instead of telling me the best part about your business, what's the thing that sucks?
Yeah.
What do you hate about this business? Tell me. Yeah. I'll tell you everything about anything that I'm selling.
Yeah. Is there any industry that you guys won't go into?
I tell you, now with the internet, I love retail, but things have changed, man. So, because I love the personal interaction of selling you something, meeting you, and I just love, here's some more stories. It's still that way. So, you just got to be careful of trends, things that are changing. You got to look into the future. You got to go, what's the trend? And there's a lot of things now that are changing. So you got to be careful when you go out there and you're going to get into a business. Are you thinking about 5 years in technology? What if you're going to be opening up a paralegal service and now AI is out? I wouldn't want to be in that business. So there's a lot of things like that. When I was in the video business, I knew a long time ago that something was coming. Everyone in our industry, we thought it might be through the phone. We get to the conventions in Las Vegas and, what's going to be changing? And it changed big time. But we all knew something was coming. We didn't know exactly how the internet was going to work and with movies and downloads. But we knew something was coming, and so that was the reason I got out before, and I got out profitable. I sold out at the right time. So you got to be looking at things, whether it's if you're going to do storage. Hey, is there a big competitor coming? Is there enough homes? Just every single thing has to be thought out and put some thought into it. But as far as industries, we love business. There's not a lot we wouldn't go into, but you got to be careful, man, and it has to meet your personality and your morals and things like that too.
Yeah. Hey, we're hanging out with Mike and Bo, business partners, real estate moguls. Is there any final thoughts you want to share before we get into the rapid fire lightning round about your keys to find undervalued businesses?
The biggest thing is we're perplexed that more people aren't doing it. You know what I mean? Recognize the fact of the benefits that are going to come from it. And get a mentorship program. If you're not reaching out to Mike and Bo, reach out to somebody, man, because it's going to happen. Mike and I, I'm 51, Mike's 57. We got people that are reaching out to us now that we've grown up with, that we thought were more financially stable than what they are. And they're crying the blues now. We feel bad for them. Yeah. We wish that they had more security in their life for their retirement. And it saddens me whenever I see good people that aren't doing something about it, and they're very capable to do it. So if you've got that about you, and everybody should have a little something, secure your future, baby. Get into real estate, business, something, because you're going to need it. And you're going to be sorry as shit. We got people that are reaching out to us that we went to college and high school and shit with that are like, dude, I golf every Wednesday and Friday, and I haven't done jack shit, and I'm 55 now, and I don't know what to do, and I need to do something. Before it's too late, get off your ass and go do something, man. Chase it.
Yeah. And I agree with what we have people coming here and like, especially at the age right now where they're, like he said, they're 50 and they're sitting there chit chat. And then you realize, oh, he's got a scared look in his face. He knows when he quits being the supply guy for whatever, sales manager, whatever, his income stops that day. Even if you have the 401k, you have whatever you have, your Social Security, but you never thought about buying a fourplex that would have been paid off by now, that you got $4,000 a month to just travel with that you want to, or RC cars, whatever you're into. You could have planned. So even if you don't have the drive that we have, at least get you something that, hey, guess what? I bought it when I was 30, 35, and now it's paid for. It went up 3% a year. The debt went down, and now I've got something that I can retire with. So I'm not saying to stop investing in stocks, do whatever you're doing. But real estate is a great vehicle. If you're going to hold it long term, it's going to be hard to lose money. Just hang on to it. Don't die. It's going to make you money.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't really understand or acknowledge the tax benefits of owning real estate. They think about the appreciation, think about the cash flow, but there's so many tax benefits to owning real estate. Yeah. So Hey, thanks again for sharing your wisdom, some awesome ideas. We're gonna ask you some really rapid fire questions. So just answer the first thing that pops in your head. You're right.
Yeah, let me answer a few of these.
Go
All
ahead.
right.
Hit 'em.
You don't take
All
them
right.
all.
All right. Okay. All right. All right. So we'll throw some softball ones out there. Who do you look up to?
Mike, I look up to this guy.
All right. All right.
All right, Bo.
All right.
Honestly, there's been some people, some older gentlemen in my life that wasn't typical mentors, but I just learned a lot just by stealing little nuggets from people. So I've got some older gentlemen in the local area that I just go, wow, that was a great businessman, and I'm glad I knew him.
What's the best business advice you've ever received?
An old guy told me one time, goes, Mike, if you bought one building a year in 10 years, you'd have 10 buildings. I called up my brother. I said, hey, this guy just told me that. What do you think of that? And we were like getting tired of retail. And he goes, that's a pretty good idea. Let's do that. The first year we bought like 3 buildings. But that's in the back of my head. And we started out buying real estate because of that guy's comment.
Yeah. What's your favorite business book?
Favorite business book? Go for it, Mike.
I think the first one, if I'm talking to anybody that's new out there, the Rich Man Poor Dad, Rich Dad Poor Dad, it's got to be the first one and that kind of sets you up.
It identifies which way you're going to go.
It's a really clear book about what type of mindset are you, and then there's nothing wrong with either mindset. I believe in being happy, but that was the one that kind of. I think everyone needs to read that one. That's the bottom. That's the easiest low hanging fruit. So read that one first. Everyone has, and there's a reason why everyone reads it because it's good.
Yeah, that's the first book that I read that really kind of transformed my thinking about assets and liabilities. And sure. I wish I had read. I read that right when I finished law school. I was like, dang, I wish I had this book 3 years ago before I went to law school.
That's funny. Yeah.
What's are you familiar with the term 3 feet from gold?
No.
Okay, so it's kind of a parable. The story goes, there's a prospector. He hears there's gold in them hills and buys the land, buys equipment, digs, doesn't hit anything. He sells it to the next guy, and that guy only digs 3 feet before he hits a bunch of gold. So the question is, how do you know as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, when to keep digging or to quit or to pivot, or when you might just be 3 feet from gold?
Dude, you got to run with your gut a lot of times. You know what I mean? When we love partnerships, and I value each and every partner that we have, from Mike's perspective on things to his brother Dino to, Philip Orange running Houston Motorsports. I value their opinion. So I would say just being able to stand down in some situations and let somebody else take the lead to kind of get their perspective on something and honestly listening to what they have to say and not always feeling like it's got to be your way. I think that's a huge thing because at the end of the day, we all make mistakes and we learn from those mistakes. So whether I make the mistake or Mike makes a mistake, I'm kind of okay with it in any way, shape or form because I hate to make a call myself and then it affect my partners. So leaning on them, I would say that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, get better professional advice on whatever industry you're in to get whatever the bottleneck is, whatever the problem is whether it's going to be able to be resolved or not. You put in enough time and you haven't been able to resolve the problem, which is getting profitable, right? Then I would seek outside help to just help someone else see a different way, and maybe it is time just to pull the plug. And there's no shame in pulling the plug, man. You've got to, neither one of us are quitters, believe me, to a fault sometimes. That's why this is a tough question for us because neither one of us want to give up, man. I start something, I don't finish. I don't start taking some vitamin unless I'm willing to take it the rest of my life. I don't start a workout routine unless I'm willing to do it the rest of my life. And so on business, we're long-term guys, man. We want to hold and we want to make sure it's going to make money. So sometimes that might even be a fault of ours, is just maybe you should let go. So it's something that maybe we could even do better on that one.
What's the thing that you spent $100 or less on that has greatly improved your personal life or your business life?
$100 or less. Oh,
I would say
flowers for my wife. Right?
A gym membership that I actually use.
Yeah.
and I hold myself accountable to it. Like, I mean, I'm in a construction company that I'm well involved with that company on a daily. But I will go there, get my guys going in the morning, and come hell or high water within the next couple of hours of me getting my guys out in the field, I go to the gym. Yeah. If I don't feel good, if my back hurts, I have to start my day with a routine and a gym workout. And it's not even just about being fit or healthy. It's about me showing myself that I'm disciplined and having confidence within myself because I know I never give myself any breaks.
Yeah,
I'm going.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I hurt because I'm going to the gym. So I may be yeah. I'm at the point where you sneeze and your abs hurt because you just and you're like, ah.
Yeah, exactly.
You lose everything in your business. The only thing you have is your laptop, cell phone, and internet connection. How do you rebuild your business in 30 days?
Honestly, with the relationships you already have, with the inner circle, with the people you know, recognizing an opportunity, and then having enough networking people that you can use their guidance, their advice, their finances, whatever. Just you got to be networking and being around like-minded people. And if you're a good person, someone's going to see value in you, and you'll be able to start over no matter where you're at, no matter what you're doing, because someone's going to want to connect with you.
Yep. So I'll rebuild it 4 times faster.
Yep. Exactly.
I don't want that challenge, but I love that challenge. Yeah. I mean, that doesn't scare me one bit because I'd be curious to see how fast I could do it. Yeah. I'd be impressed to see how fast I could do it. I feel that confident about it because I've realized that from all my life experiences and all those things that I've taken in, it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Robert Allen did this. You probably know of him, No Money Down guy. And I think the story I heard was, hey, to prove his system, like just drop me in any city, and the only thing I have is a phone, and I can buy real estate within 30 days or even less than that. So that's pretty cool. All right, the final question is, what is the biggest challenge in your business today?
Stacking us up with more good people around us. And not that there's not good people out there. It's just the amount of time that it takes to develop those relationships and then bring them on and then keep on scaling. There's nothing like the culture of a good, successful business. We own multiple of them, but I just love stacking good people on top of good people to help scale the companies. Yeah. And so it's just networking and finding those good people.
Yeah. It used to be before the pandemic, whatever, it was everything has changed. It's the employee relationship is totally different now, and I think anybody in business will say that. And whatever happened to the bus boys, that they don't exist anymore. There's just things that are different, and so employees are worth a lot more now. They're harder to get. They don't want to work, whatever. So when you get someone that's good on your team, man, wrap your arms around them and love them, because that's the biggest challenge in any business now. We look at like what it would take to staff that business. Yeah. And every business has to be. So even like you said about the numbers, looking at a business, look at how you're going to find, it's an AC company. Are you going to be able to find enough techs to fill those vans? It's easy to buy a bunch of vans. Get someone good to go in the van and do the work. It's really, really hard. It doesn't matter how much you pay people. We try that too. That doesn't, it's not that. It's something else.
Yeah, the opportunity is in people. The businesses are everywhere. There's so many businesses. There's times that Mike and I would look, every time we walk into a place, we're thinking about the business and the numbers that it does and this and that. We're looking at that building that we're going to make a run at. And they had a mechanic shop that was very successful. And there is such a major need for boat mechanics in our area. And you could charge whatever you want, but you just can't find the people to facilitate the business. If you could find the people, you could pay them double what a boat mechanic would go, and you'd still make money.
Yeah,
because you just can't find the people.
It's rich guys with boats, right? What do they care?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they change the prop. It's $300 or it's $900 or it's $1,500. What's it care? Who cares? I need to get out on the water. Yeah. You're not going to charge me. You can't charge me too much. And so they closed their business because they couldn't staff the boat repair shop, and they had 24 boats you said out there when they closed that needed repair.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's so tough.
People.
Yeah. Hey, Mike and Bo, thank you so much for hanging out. If our listeners want to get in contact with you, what's the best way?
I would say DM us on Instagram. is one way of getting out to us. So it's Mike and Bo on Instagram. Reach out to us, hit us up there. The other thing is it's easy to text. So I would say if you text us at 928-605-4335, that's 928-605-4335. Shoot us a text and inquire about Mike and Bo. Hit us up on off this podcast. But if you text us, inquire with Mike and Bo and shoot us a text, that's probably the best way to reach out to us.
We got a staff that'll get back to you right away.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Awesome. We'll put those contact information in the show notes. And thanks again for your time hanging out with us. And hopefully we can get talking again soon.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.